This is a production of Florida State University.
Hello and welcome to another edition of FSU Headlines. I'm your host, Dennis Schnitker. This is the spring semester of the year 2020 at Florida State University. This is the month of April at Florida State during the novel coronavirus pandemic. Florida State is open, operational, and socially distant. Campus is quiet. All academic courses have been moved online to be delivered via remote distance learning. And while the Florida State family rises to meet the challenges presented by these unprecedented times, University President John Thrasher could not be more proud of this family.
Florida State University spent weeks leading up to an unprecedented move to online learning, making sure the university would continue to provide its students with a world-class education.
They're all committed. They're all committed to making this work because they're committed to our students, and that's what this faculty's about. They're strong. I know we'll get through this. We're the 18th best public university in America. We're going to come out of this just as strong as we were and make this university even stronger. And it'll be because our faculty cares about what happens to our students, and our students want to get the best education they can so they can go out, follow their dreams and hopes.
It's a difficult situation for everyone. This change simply means FSU professors and instructors will continue to innovate and bring its students that education online.
Completely online is new to me. I'll be honest with you. When I went to school here, nobody had even thought of online. So now we're totally online, and the confidence I have in our faculty is just I'm overwhelmed by it. I know they're working hard to make it happen.
President Thrasher emphasizes that the Florida State community will get through this challenging time by remaining patient and resilient.
I want the students to continue to get the kind of education they came to Florida State for. Our faculty wants to deliver that education. This is just a new mode of doing that. I think if everybody will just be patient and work together, realizing that, it's not going to be perfect at first, but we can do the best we can and we'll get through this, I promise you that.
And President Thrasher is leading by example. He's made the transition to remote work as well, just like the rest of FSU's faculty, staff, and students.
I've been working from right here primarily, and it's not easy because I like being around my staff. I like being the interchange, but given all of that, we have the tools, to stay very active and keep things going on the campus. And our faculty, our staff, and our students are being very cooperative in all of that. No question about it.
And while staying away from campus isn't easy for President Thrasher, he knows just how important it is for everyone to take the proper precautions to protect themselves and others.
So what we've got to do, I think, is pay attention to what people are asking us to do that understand the circumstances of this coronavirus. They know that staying home and staying out of contact with other people makes a difference. So we've got to do that. We've got to practice that. I think it's the right thing to do. I'm going to do it. I take it seriously, and I hope everybody else will also.
President Thrasher is proud of the response of the Florida State community, and he hopes everyone continues to do their part.
It's up to every single individual to abide by these guidelines. If we do that, I think we'll get through this. But I don't think being afraid is the right attitude. I think being hopeful is the better attitude. Hopeful for the future, because this university's strong. It always has been. We've endured a lot of things over the years, even the 6 years I've been here. We've endured a lot. And I know we can get through this together if we do the things that are appropriate and practice good safety measures. So I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic we're going to get back to normal. The sooner the better, obviously, for all of us. But we'll only do that if we practice these types of guidelines that have been given to us. And I think that's the key to getting through, and particularly as a family. We can do this. I know we can.
For Florida State Headlines, I'm Mark Vaughn.
Florida State University rose to the challenge of transitioning 42,000 FSU students into a new era of remote learning. Here's how one of our faculty members helped make it happen.
It used to be common for grandparents to sell their house after retiring and then move to a smaller house in a warmer climate. I normally teach in this room, HCB 101. It holds 500 something students. It usually has, in a normal class day, between, well, for a 500 student class, around 400 students in it, and for a 300 student class, it might have 200 something students in it. All the faculty here have gone to great lengths to make sure that the things that we would normally make available to students are still available to them. We're switching almost everything we did before online in one format or another. Now I'm just doing the same thing, except the students aren't here. Of course, they'll adapt quickly. They're young, they're technologically savvy for the most part. They're used to watching lots of stuff online. They're used to FaceTime and other forms of online communication. They'll be fine adjusting to this. It may be a little bit difficult for them at first to think of this as primarily a learning mechanism and not just a communication tool, but they'll catch on and they'll adapt. It's going to be different and it's going to be more difficult. It's going to take all of us time to adjust to doing that, but I know we're all going to try our hardest to do that.
As you can imagine, moving all of Florida State University's academic courses to online distance learning and other alternative distribution methods was an unprecedented task. But that wasn't the only big changes that needed to be made to keep FSU running full speed ahead. Florida State created new ways to help its students continue to learn and thrive remotely. From Virtual FSU, a new online hub for student services and engagement opportunities, to launching a privately funded relief effort for its students in need, the university has rallied in a short amount of time. Florida State also created a special website for all the latest information on its response to COVID-19. You can find it at fsu.edu. A few days before this global pandemic disrupted all of our lives, Florida State University opened its brand new Earth, Ocean, and Atmospheric Sciences building here on the main campus, not far from where I'm standing. FSU Headlines showcased the new space and celebrated more milestones along the way. We'll take a look at these final stories we filmed before everything changed. That's when FSU Headlines continues in a moment.
At Florida State University, we're proving that students from all walks of life can achieve at the highest levels. We're proving that intellect, creativity, service, and daring matter. We're proving the next generation can do more than dream of a better world. They can make it happen. We are Florida State University.
When you buy a Florida State University license plate,
you're not just showing your school spirit.
You're supporting students like us.
In the lab,
in the classroom,
and in the library.
Putting this tag on your vehicle helps Florida State students achieve their dreams. So show your pride. Purchase an FSU license plate today.
Welcome back to FSU Headlines. I'm your host, Dennis Schnitker, and we're broadcasting today from the beautiful new Earth, Ocean, and Atmospheric Sciences building here on the campus of Florida State University. We'll give you an inside look at this new building a little later in the show, but first, we're headed to the state capitol, where lawmakers and hundreds of FSU supporters descended on the old state capitol steps to celebrate Florida State University and all its achievements during the annual FSU Day at the Capitol. Take a look.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to see all the garnet and gold out there, bringing the Seminole spirit to the capital of the state of Florida, right?
We're the 18th best public university in America. A lot of that has to do with the resources the legislature's given us, as well as the entire university system. So we're not only showcasing Florida State, we're showcasing that we have a great university system in our state, and legislators have been a big part of that.
Each and every day that our goal and our focus is to be the best version of ourselves in every aspect of what we do. On the field, off the field, in the classroom, within this great community. Because great days are ahead, but the foundation is built on today.
I want them to take away that Florida State's on the rise, that we're doing well. We're educating young people. They're going out and getting really responsible jobs. They're doing well. We're obviously, our reputation is continuing to grow when we have 62,000 applications for our freshman class. I just want people to understand this is a great university, and for the legislature to understand it's a great place to invest in.
What happens when you bring together two institutions known for their education, research, and medical innovation? A powerful partnership that could transform Florida's healthcare future.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate this opportunity. And knowing about the Mayo Clinic for so many years, and then knowing my love for Florida State, to bring the two together, just absolutely incredible. It's a great collaboration, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cultures are so similar, you know, the values that they have here, the values we have at Florida State, all are going to make a difference, I think, in the lives of a lot of folks in the future.
FSU is ingrained in the very DNA of Florida, and we need to establish an ecosystem. We cannot continue to work in isolation. The new world requires networking, working together in teams, and so the opportunity of working with a top-tier academic institution like Florida State really helps Mayo Clinic establish a network of relationships within the state, and again with the principal aim of attracting and retaining top talent to our region.
What we're doing here is really focusing on the education, and we're starting small and we're building a wonderful relationship. And I think that brings tremendous value to Tallahassee, but we're also bringing the value of FSU into Jacksonville. So I really see this as mutually beneficial, and it falls right in line with the type of work that I have done in medtech startups before my time at FSU.
Nothing is as good for you as a great brand, and I think our FSU brand in the last few years has really improved in terms of our academic reputation, moving up to number 18, for example. It's making a difference in the kind of students and the kind of faculty and staff we're able to recruit and retain. This is only going to make it better because Mayo is Mayo. You know, that name is known around the world and fully respected by everyone. So it's going to be, I think, an amazing partnership for both of us.
As part of the collaboration, Florida State will create a biomedical entrepreneurship certificate program open to both FSU students and Mayo Clinic employees. To learn more about the FSU Mayo Clinic partnership, visit news.fsu.edu. Over at Florida State University's Panama City campus, award-winning director and author Jeffrey Blunt recently shared a timely message about racism, identity, and courage during a special Black History Month program. This is the power of words.
Dr. Martin Luther King said we are all inextricably entwined when it comes to the idea of race in America. And we have to deal with it as Americans or it won't be dealt with. If we can't all agree that we have this issue, then we can't fight it. And so it is something that we cannot get away from, that it is an American story.
Please stand to your feet and welcome Mr. Jeffrey Blunt.
Good morning, everyone. I am honored to be here with you guys today to celebrate Black History Month.
This is our 4th annual Black History Month program, and having someone of his caliber and his very humble beginnings, his message really resonated with people. If they're fundamentally sound in reading and writing, they can achieve their goals.
We often talk about our icons. We all know their stories. Black History Month represents American history, and it represents many stories that don't reach the level of iconic. I believe education is so important for the success of African American children and all children, but specifically today for African American children. There are incredible people, Black people, who are examples to them about who they could become, what is possible to become.
The world is waiting for the important gift that you have to bring to the table.
Having the community involved with the program shows, as a part of our new Panama City promise, that we promise to be a partner, and that partnership is just not only with our students, but also a partnership with the community.
To have a program like this, to bring all these kids together, to benefit from it, to hear the stories, is the way to move forward. And so to provide this kind of opportunity is very special, and FSU should be congratulated for reaching out to the community and bringing the community in to have this important conversation.
Here's the test. You have 4 slides and 4 minutes to present your research. It's called The Masters in 4, and all of these graduate degree seekers were up to the challenge.
For 50 years, not-for-profit arts organizations have
Masters in 4 was created a year ago at the suggestion of faculty who wanted us to create a competition similar to the 3-minute thesis for master's students. It's using everyday terms so that if you're on an elevator, someone stops you and asks you what you're doing, you can explain it so that it can clearly be understood. They may someday need to make a pitch for our grant proposal. And this kind of experience is very good for them.
This problem. It's called the engagement equation. Yeah, so I'm sharing from my perspective and my experience about my research. And so it's really different than taking on a role and taking on someone else's lines and interpreting that myself, right? So it allowed for greater flexibility in the word choice that I was able to put into this to make it even more personal to me.
The first place goes to Jay Hinton.
Shocking, really surprising. I'm thrilled, but humbled as always.
And there's still more to come on this edition of FSU Headlines as Florida State University cuts the ribbon on its newest educational and research facility. We'll get an inside look at this state-of-the-art facility when FSU Headlines continues in a moment. Welcome back to FSU Headlines. I'm Dennis Schnitker. You might be wondering about this fantastic globe display right here beside me. It's called Science on a Sphere. This novel education tool allows students, faculty, and other curious minds to explore planetary phenomena. And it's just one of many technological innovations you'll find here in FSU's brand new Earth, Ocean, and Atmospheric Science building. FSU first broke ground on this building back in 2016. The vision? To build a state-of-the-art home for the university's Earth Sciences programs. The Earth, Ocean, and Atmospheric Science Department was established in 2010 when FSU combined its outstanding meteorology, oceanography, and geology departments. FSU then embarked on this multi-million-dollar project to bring all of these outstanding programs together under one roof. And now complete, Florida State University recently cut the ribbon on this high-tech facility in a special ceremony. Watch this.
Good afternoon. I'm John Thrasher, President of Florida State University, and it's truly an honor and a privilege to be here today. It's a very special day for Florida State University, a very special opportunity to have our former President and First Lady back in Tallahassee on FSU's campus. The statute we're about to unveil ensures that future generations of students and faculty members will know about his contributions. Located here in this courtyard, this statute will also serve as an inspiration to all the students who walk through the doors of this magnificent building.
That is so wonderful. He's smiling.
This is an institution that belongs in the top 25. And I just can't tell you how proud I am of what this university has been doing. Thank you so much, and what fun. It's wonderful.
October 27th, 2016, in fact, exactly, right on this very spot, the university held a ceremony to break ground for this building. Today, 1,201 days later, we're here to formally dedicate this structure. Now I'd like to invite President Thrasher, President Barron, Chancellor Kreiser, Chairman Burr, Vincent Salters, and Jim Toll to help us with the formal dedication.
And there's much more to this 7-story space than meets the eye. From a smart flower solar device atop the roof to a seismic station 100 feet below. We recently sat down with EOAS Chair Vincent Salters to learn more about this long-anticipated science complex.
This building is the highest point on campus.
Yes. The top of the building is the highest point on campus. It's basically the building, it's a 7-story building. The building has a number of things that we see as very important for outreach, and as a consequence with that outreach, we can attract more students to come to our programs. One demonstration project that we have is the Smart Flower. That is a demonstration project that we can show how much power you can get just from the sun.
So there is an anemometer there, and the thing will fold by itself when the wind speed is more than 30 miles per hour.
The second one is we have a seismometer, so that measures movement of the earth. Teeny movements it can measure, so it can measure earthquakes. And on the 6th floor we have basically a teaching and research deck that we can instrument, so we can make measurements of the atmosphere.
On this roof we can set up experiments that faculty has, and that is mostly on that gated area there. And then out here we'll have meteorology classes, so students can work with the instrumentation that observes atmospheric parameters and set the instruments up and do studies like that.
On the 6th floor we also have what we call a map room, and that map room is basically a TV wall where we have 20 TV screens that we use for mapping the atmosphere.
So you can have different layers of the atmosphere as you go up and looking at the screens, and then different parameters in the atmosphere you can have along like that.
The web labs that we have, they're modular, so you can reconfigure them very easy as the needs of the PI might change. In the building we have several large paintings donated by Paul Lee that were painted by his wife, Gabrielle Lee. These paintings are kind of an abstract impression of expression. The pigments that are used for the paints are mineral pigments, so they don't fade in the sun. It's very exciting because basically this will grow our program, that will attract more students, that will attract more funding. We can teach people the basic geosciences, but also some practicalities about solutions towards present-day world problems that are related to geosciences.
And for more information on Florida State's nationally recognized Earth, Ocean, and Atmospheric Science programs, visit eoas.fsu.edu. 1 year ago, Florida State University joined the family and friends of the late FSU student Mara Binkley to launch the Mara's Voice Foundation. Today, the organization is striving to learn as much as possible about violent acts and how to prevent them. When Mara's Voice launched, tragedy was turned into an opportunity to create change. The organization was created in honor of FSU student Mara Binkley, who tragically lost her life during a shooting in November 2018. And since her untimely death, FSU's College of Social Work has led a research and response effort to address systemic violence in our society. Through Mara's Voice, FSU researchers aim to create a safer future for generations to come.
Jill Taranovic from the College of Criminology is going to be conducting this summer some research in which she wants to build out a database on hate crimes in Florida, in order that Florida can have a highly reliable and valid database in order to think about policy and practice and future research.
Florida State University's legendary symbols, Osceola and Renegade, joined the FSU Marching Chiefs, students, and University President John Thrasher at the Seminole Tribe of Florida's annual Brighton Field Day and Rodeo. It's a demonstration of true Seminole culture and the long-standing relationship between FSU and the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Take a look.
Welcome everybody to the 82nd Annual Field Days. We're glad to have you here. Hope you enjoy yourself. Take the time to learn about us, as we are a unique individual people.
And we're here with some students as well as faculty and staff members just to honor the tribe and the history that they have with our university.
We're here to educate you on what we do here and teach you about our language and what we do as a people. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate you.
I think that a lot of students are curious about the relationship we have with the tribe, so coming to events like this is one way to continue to further that relationship we have with them.
We have such a great connection with the university and the Seminole tribe, and just to see some kind of representation and actual involvement with the band and Renegade team, it's always great to see, and it's definitely appreciated. And I know it makes it even better, you know, because I can actually brag on my university a little bit.
It was really interesting to be able to see a lot of the culture aspects, from not only the food to the rodeo, as well as the parade.
Thank you guys so much for coming. It means a lot to me and Abby.
It's been a lot of fun. We've been walking around a lot, seeing a lot of the vendors, eating some of the food, and getting to engage with the students as well as members of the tribe.
The relationship, being able to flourish on the Seminole tribe property, is also very cool from our perspective.
I also think getting to hear their native tongue and them speaking it during their parade was really interesting to me, because it's something that we've never been exposed to before.
Yo, Shinamis, Florida State, let's roll, baby!
Well, that's going to do it for this historic edition of FSU Headlines. We're certainly thinking about all of you during this difficult time, and we hope we can bring some light to your day by sharing these wonderful stories from our students, faculty, and staff here at FSU. Be sure to visit us at fsu.edu. For everyone here at Florida State University, and for everyone else, I'm Dennis Schnitker. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you again very soon.